We have a wind chime that hangs on our front porch that was gifted to us that has Danny's name on it, and it says, "Listen, for I am near." And so every time the wind blows, it reminds us of Danny.
We went to my first ultrasound in February and found out that Danny had an abnormality with his head. Had another appointment in March, and that's when we got the diagnosis of our baby and that he had anencephaly. And anencephaly is the most severe form of a neural tube defect. Basically what happens is the brain does not form through to completion and the skull does not form through to completion. And it is a non-viable diagnosis.
We loved him and we didn't want to give up on him. So when we were faced with the choice of to carry Danny on and for Lisa to give birth to him, it wasn't a hard choice at all. And so we got 22 hours with him, and we consider that a blessing. We look at that as an amazing gift that God gave us to hold him, to love him, sing to him. I got to watch a baseball game with him, holding him in my arms.
Very quickly we realized that he could not regulate his own breathing. When he was being held by somebody else, his breathing would become really gaspy, it would be very irregular. But we found that every time we laid Danny on my chest, and when his head, his ear was right over my heartbeat, his breathing, the irregular and the raspiness would subside. And in its place was very steady, rhythmic breathing. In that moment, I felt like I became aware of this connection that happens in the womb between a mother and a child that I don't even think we fully understand.
We love Danny all the way to the end. We still treat him as part of our family. He's just still as much a child of ours as our other children. And so even at its smallest and most fragile, life is still precious and worthy of love.
And if God has created them, then there is a purpose for them. And in our case, Danny's purpose lasted for 22 hours, but the impact of his purpose is still carrying on.
I think God can take unexpected circumstances, unexpected plans, and make something beautiful out of them.
There is a connection between a mother and a child that supersedes our understanding. And so now I'm convicted that we've got to be a voice for the unborn.
We're pro-life because we believe that God created all life beautiful and wonderful, and that children are a blessing for him. And even when they're small, even when they're in the womb and they're fragile and they're weak, they still reflect God's humanity. They're still worthy of love.